Hey, Amanda! You there? I thought I told you I was going out with my friends today. I can't believe you didn't have breakfast ready. Again! You're in your room, right? It was so quiet this morning I thought you were gone. Saw your keys on the kitchen table.
Sorry, Brian. Actually, I think I have a little fever.
Huh? Seriously? What, did you catch a cold or something?
I really hate to do this to you, but I may need to go to the hospital.
Excuse me? I thought I told you I was going out with friends today. I planned this since last week. I can't just not show up. What's a little fever? Staying in bed just makes it worse. What are you, a kid? It's way obvious that you just want to get out of doing any housework or cook breakfast for me. Sheesh. Just get your ass out of bed and make me breakfast, would you? I don't have much time, for God's sake. I can't believe it. Are you up yet? You're really doing this, huh? Really going to go AWOL on me? Alright then. Guess I'm going to have to use a little of my wakey-wakey recipe on you. What I need is some ice and a bucket. Fill that up with plenty of water, and then... presto! Alrighty? All set! Darn it. No breakfast. Going to have to grab something on the way, I guess. Probably tastes better than anything we got here. Hey, Amanda! Are you still in bed? I don't have time. I'm already late, so I'm off. I dumped some ice water on you to help with that fever of yours. I'm sure that did the trick. Be up and about by the time I get home. You got that? I don't have time for this, so we'll talk later about disciplinary measures.
Hello, Amanda. Are you up and about? You called yesterday morning saying you weren't feeling well. How are you doing now? Any better? If you're still under the weather, I thought I would stop in later. Maybe I could cook you up something or, anything you need.
Hey, Mom. Is that you? I'm cold.
Huh? What's the matter? Did you still have a fever? Where the hell is Brian? He should be there by your side at a time like this. Today's his day off, right? Don't tell me he's not there taking care of you. Amanda, are you there?
He is not here.
Excuse me? He's not there? Where the hell is he? He's obviously not working, so are you saying he's out with friends or something? Amanda, are you okay? What's wrong? You're scaring me. Amanda, please answer me. I'm on my way. Hold on. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Brian, where the hell are you? Do you realize your wife is sick? She has a high fever. She's burning up.
Huh? Who? Oh, hey, Mom. What's up? What's all the flap?
Amanda is very sick. One look and it's obvious. What the hell is wrong with you? Where in the name of gods are you, son?
What are you getting all worked up about, Mom? I'm meeting with friends. It's my day off. I can do what I want.
Are you serious, Brian?
Oh, jeez. Don't tell me she's being a pain in the ass to you, too. Oh, boy. Always currying favor with you. You're spoiling her, Mom. You're just too kind to her. Yesterday, she was faking having a fever. Just trying to get out of doing house chores. So obvious. She didn't even make me breakfast. Just lying around in bed all morning. She's so darn lazy. I told her I was going out with my friends like a week ago. I don't see why she can't make a little breakfast even with a little fever. At least she should have made some coffee. So useless.
And so, what did you do?
I had no choice but to stop off at a drive-thru and buy burger and fries.
That's not what I'm asking, son. What I'm asking is what you did before you left home. What did you do to Amanda?
What do you mean?
You really should have taken her to the hospital. But no, you couldn't even do that. Did you really dump a bucket of ice-cold water on her? Really? Is that what a normal person does? I can't believe you did that, Brian. Not only that, you threw open the windows to let cold air in. Why do that? Then without second thought, you go off to see your friends. Your wife told you she wasn't feeling well. Why didn't you listen? Why didn't you take her temperature? A hand on her forehead would have told you she was running a fever, for God's sake.
Yeah, well, that's why you know, you have a fever, you cool it down, hence the ice water. Thought it was the best remedy. I opened the window to get her some fresh air.
She needed to get warm, not put into deep freeze, for Pete's sake. You just made her condition worse. I mean, what did you expect? Dump ice-cold water on her in her bed? Throw the windows open? Really? She's not some barnyard dog.
I had to do something. I didn't have time. My friends were waiting and...
Please, I've heard enough.
Come on, Mom. Why are you so pissed?
Well, because Amanda was taken to the hospital by ambulance. She was taken to the ER.
Excuse me? You can't be serious, Mom. Taken away by ambulance for a little fever? What's ER going to do? Give her an aspirin and send her home? Please.
She had a temperature of over 103 degrees Fahrenheit with symptoms of pneumonia, difficulty breathing. When I got there, she was unconscious. I called the ambulance right away. She looked so bad, I thought she wasn't going to make it. But the hospital did what they could, and now she's in stable condition, but still has a fever. I hate to imagine what would have happened if I hadn't arrived in time.
Yeah, well, I was only trying to, you know... Yeah, just wanted to toughen her up is all. I thought I was doing her a favor. Yeah, I suppose I went a little too far, but it was for her own good.
Excuse me? Have you gone total bat crazy, son?
You know her. She's not working. Just a housewife staying at home all day. So I figured I should...
Please stop. I don't want to hear your lame excuses.
Right. By the way, which hospital is Amanda at?
Sorry, I'm not going to tell you.
Huh? Seriously? Why not?
I was going to, of course. She's your wife, after all. But after hearing you trying to legitimize your despicable behavior, what good would it do to tell you? If you show up at the hospital, you would just make things worse. Once she sees you, her condition would probably deteriorate further. No need for you to come to the hospital. I don't want you dumping ice-cold water on her again.
But Mom, you can't just block me from going.
Oh, yes, I can. And I will not allow you to see her until she gives me permission. Not until then.
Come on, Mom, be reasonable, would you? Hey, Amanda! I heard you're out of the hospital and back to normal. You went straight to your parents' place, I hear. Well, it's been a month, Amanda. How about coming home pretty soon? What do you say? The place is a mess. Dust everywhere, and the laundry is piling up like crazy. I've been wearing the same shirt for days. And meals? I'm really getting sick of takeout and that drive-through crap. Starting to taste like cardboard. The bath needs cleaning too. Hair and gunk in the drain. Yuck!
Wow. That's all you can say after 1 month, huh?
Yeah, well, I know I was partially to blame for what I did to you last month, but it's been a month for God's sake. How long is this little marital dispute going to last? Right? Let's just forget about it and get back to married life.
You really have no idea, do you?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Divorce. I'm talking about divorce.
Seriously? I'm really not in the mood for dumb jokes. I'm serious here. I'm talking about our future. Divorce? Where'd that even come from?
I'm currently talking to my lawyer about how to proceed.
Did you just say lawyer?
My lawyer will probably get in touch with you in a few days, so just so you know.
Hey, come on, Amanda! Hey, Amanda, pick up! Come on! What's this about compensation? You're demanding money from me? Seriously?
I know where you went that day. You know that day when I had the fever and I was taken to the hospital? I know all about it.
What are you talking about?
It seems you were on a date with your girlfriend, cheating on your wife, it seems. You were so focused on that little date of yours and left me despite my dire condition. Actually, you should thank me. I could have pressed charges for endangering my life. I could have died or been permanently impaired. I discussed the circumstances with my lawyer, and he came up with a reasonable number for the compensation amount. We expect to be paid. Don't go shrinking on your responsibilities.
Hold it 1 second! Who the hell is cheating on you? I have no idea what you're talking about! You have no proof I was cheating on you! Give me a break! Just because you want a divorce doesn't mean you can just make shit up!
Why do you think I hired a lawyer if I didn't have ample proof? I would not have retained a lawyer, or didn't you even think that far?
But you can't...
And what's more, while I was at my parents' place, you brought your girlfriend into our home.
Yeah, right! I would never do that!
Oh, really? Your mom saw you.
Huh? My mom?
I was incapacitated, resting at home, so your mom hired a private detective and did some checking herself. Well, all that work paid off, apparently. We got a truckload of evidence. You know, photos, text messages, witness accounts, the works.
Are you serious?
Oh, and we also sent a compensation demand to your partner in crime.
You what?
She's your boss at work, I hear. Nice one. They tell me you two were neglecting work and using the conference room as some kind of lover's nest.
Why do you even know that?
Apparently, some of your work colleagues knew what you guys were up to. Bet you thought you were being sneaky. How embarrassing. I mean, really, Brian. You guys constantly booking meeting rooms and not coming out for hours? Did you really think nobody noticed?
What? You're making this up, right?
You wish. So, that's the situation. Oh, forgot one more.
There's more?
Your partner in this adulterous affair? Her husband will probably be contacting you too. More money, I'm sure.
Come on, no way!
Come to grips with it, Brian. What you did was despicable, and now you're going to pay the consequences for your actions. Simple as that.
This is not happening! We're both finished! We'll be fired over this! What am I going to do? Mom! I know you're there! Pick up! I thought you were on my side! When did you turn against your own son? I was worried about you and found out you're not at home! What the hell is going on?
I'm thinking about selling the place.
Excuse me? Are you serious?
Your dad passed away 10 years ago. Maybe that place is just too big for me to live there alone. I thought I would sell it and buy a small condo by the sea with a nice view, preferably.
A condo? By the sea? Really? What about me? If you're going to sell that house, I need the money to pay off the compensation! Without it, I'm finished! I won't even have a job come the end of the month thanks to you and Amanda!
Sorry? Why do I have to cover for you? That's your problem. I have nothing to do with it.
For one, you're my mother, for God's sake! You can help your son, can't you?
You really think I would give money to a son I plan to cut ties with? To be honest, I don't think of you as my son anymore, after what you did to Amanda.
Cut ties? With your son? Seriously?
I've already arrived at the apartment I'm renting temporarily. Once I get the house sold, I'll look for a nice condo by the sea. Kind of exciting, to be honest.
You already moved out? Tell me where you're at! Give me the address right this second, Mom!
Sorry, no can do. And stop calling me Mom.
Huh? Why not?
I never want to see you again, that's why. Isn't that what cut ties means? I no longer have a son. There, I said it.
But why cut ties? come on, Mom! We're blood related! You can't just delete that!
I certainly can. Goodbye, former son.
Why? Why you, Mom? I thought I could count on you, Mom! Please!
I asked my mother-in-law if I should really have gone all the way with my ex. She was adamant that I did the right thing, and she had no regrets about cutting ties with her son. As a matter of fact, she said she was happy that she gained a beautiful daughter. As for Brian and his partner in crime, they were both fired from their jobs, and last I heard they moved in with Brian's grandparents. I received the first check from them soon after. Apparently, they both landed jobs somewhere. My mother-in-law's in touch with her folks. They seem to be keeping an eye on them. I never really think of them anymore. Actually, I really don't care what happens to them, as long as they keep paying me. I'm just glad I gained a kind and considerate mother. We meet often for lunch at her beautiful new condo on the beach. Man, what a view!
I can't believe you're finally here! It's been too long, I've missed you! Will you head straight to the wedding venue, or will you stop by the manor?
Of course. I wouldn't miss my precious sister's wedding for the world. I'll get my clothes and drive straight to the venue. Is that all right? Am I allowed to take my car, or should I show up in a horse-drawn carriage?
I couldn't ask every guest to find alternatives to driving. We've made exceptions for cars and mobile phones. Didn't you read the invitation? It was all discussed there.
I skimmed through it. I couldn't finish reading without risking straining my eyes. Was it necessary to write it in cursive?
Well, I'm not too sure. The wedding planner said it was, so we went with it. Was it that bad?
No, it only gave me a mild headache and vertigo after reading it twice. It was almost harmless during the first read-through.
Give me a second. I should have the final designs of the invitations in an envelope somewhere. I'll take a look at them.
Sure.
Oh, God, why did no one else mention this? We sent out over 100 of these. I swear it looked different as a sample. It also had much less text on it.
Well, first of all, I'm worried you're surrounded by a lot more yes men and women than you'd like to admit. And secondly, does the font really even matter at this point? The invitations have served their purpose. Didn't you say you'd already received confirmation emails?
Yes, but what if they've also ignored the theme and the special requirements? They've all received their garments, but I doubt that'll be enough to clear up the confusion regarding the theme.
I assure you, it's not as confusing as you make it out to be.
Is that so? What is the theme then? Tell me.
It's clearly a medieval fairy tale themed wedding.
Putting an exclamation mark at the end of your message isn't automatically going to make your statements correct.
It's still better than a question mark, isn't it?
Well, I suppose.
So what is it?
It's Romeo and Juliet. I thought it'd be fairly obvious.
Perhaps too obvious. I mean, isn't that a little too on the nose? I, for one, can imagine making my name the theme of my wedding.
That's because you were named after Dad's car.
You'd think I'd have gotten used to it by now, but it still stings every time I'm reminded of that.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to reopen old wounds. Lincoln's just as wonderful of a name as Juliet. And even if it wasn't, what's in a name?
Are you brushing up on your Shakespeare quotes for the wedding?
Oh, come on, give me a break. I didn't even say the whole thing this time.
Now that I think about it, it's a little strange. Why'd you model your wedding after a tragedy? Isn't that asking for bad luck?
When did you become so superstitious? The theme's an homage to our first meeting. Have I never told you the story? I met Christopher when we were cast as Romeo and Juliet in our high school play.
Did anyone else bother auditioning for the role, or was it assigned to you without contention?
Very funny. At least I got to act in actual plays.
I guess that's one of the perks of attending a co-ed school. Our boarding school's theater program strictly forbade putting on plays with female characters in them.
If it makes you feel any better, you can always act out scenes at my wedding.
Which scenes?
Those that don't involve death. Out with tragedies. We're revising Romeo and Juliet as a romantic comedy. Well, it's more of a romance than a comedy. We'll change some things around and get our happily ever after at the end.
It all sounds a bit chaotic, but it's your day. Do as you please.
It won't be chaotic. I have everything planned out. We had a stage constructed and everything. We're going to have the costumes and the decorations, obviously, but we're also going to structure the whole wedding as a play. We'll have a prologue and an epilogue, and in between we'll have the readings and people acting out scenes. Oh, and we'll have a musical prelude. It's going to be a magical day.
You've really put a lot of effort into this, haven't you?
Well, yes, it's a once-in-a-lifetime occasion.
Is the groom just as excited?
He is. He hasn't been involved in the whole planning process. He's only seen bits and pieces of things, so I'm betting he's going to be pleasantly surprised when he sees everything come together so beautifully.
I'm sure he'll love it. I'm normally not a big fan of these grand events, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I'm happy to hear that. I have to go now. I need my beauty sleep. I can't show up at the ceremony with dark circles under my eyes.
Right, of course. Good night.
Good night. Christopher, dear, where are you? The bride texting on her smartphone doesn't really go with the theme. Are you all right? Are you stuck in traffic? The orchestra's waiting for my cue to start. We can delay the ceremony for an hour or two, but any longer than that, and we won't be able to keep up with the schedule.
I'm sorry, Juliet. I can't do this.
What? I thought you liked the orchestra.
I'm not talking about the orchestra. I'm talking about this wedding. I can't go through with it. I'm sorry.
You must be joking. Tell me you aren't being serious. I'm already in my wedding dress. The venue, the guests, everything's ready. The only thing that's missing is the groom. You can arrive late. It's okay. We can cut out an act or two.
I won't be coming. Please don't wait for me.
Where are you, Christopher?
That's not important. All that matters is that we're over.
How can you be so cruel? We made a vow. You promised we'd be together until the end of our days. Did those words mean nothing to you?
Back then, I really did feel that way, but over time, my feelings changed.
You know I've been making preparations for this day for years. How could you leave right now? Is this even you who's texting me? Perhaps you've been kidnapped, or perhaps somebody's threatening you. Tell me if you need help.
Juliet, I need you to calm down. You're in denial. That's perfectly normal. Take a deep breath. Everything's fine.
Everything's not fine. What kind of twisted individual do you have to be to do this to someone? If there were issues, why didn't you bring them up sooner? Where are you? I need to see you right now.
I'm with Abigail.
You're in the old servants' quarters? So you're here at the wedding venue.
Why would Abigail be in the old servants' quarters?
Well, the maids and waitstaff are using the rooms as storage units. Since she's one of the maids, I just assumed she was with the rest of the staff. Wait, why are you making me justify my words as though I've insulted her? Why are you with her in the first place?
Sorry, was my statement too vague? I'm with Abigail in a hotel room. We're planning on living together from now on. I left you to be by her side.
You can't be serious. We've known each other since high school. Are you really expecting me to believe that a woman you met only a year ago is the reason you're leaving me?
Well, yes, that's the truth. Whether you believe me or not isn't going to change anything.
I still don't get why you do something like that. Why on our wedding day?
Isn't the answer clear? I fell in love with her. She's so gentle, sweet, and loving despite the world constantly trying to bring her down. The day I looked into her beautiful, sorrowful eyes, I knew I wanted to hold her in my arms and shield her from harm the rest of my life.
Could you please stop gushing about her?
You're the one who asked for an explanation. I tried my best to win over these feelings, but with each passing day I could tell we kept drifting further and further apart. I know my decision doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but the heart wants what it wants.
Heart? Love? Do you think it's that easy to fool me? What you're doing right now isn't motivated by love. You are trying to hurt me. You deliberately chose the day that caused me the most pain.
That's not true. I never meant to hurt you. I got dressed, I got into the car until the very last second. I believed I'd be marrying you, but then I was overcome with emotion and realized I just couldn't bring myself to drive toward the venue.
Overcome with emotion? You're unbelievable. What am I to do now? Should I go out there, get a mic, and tell everyone the wedding's off? I can't do that.
What else is there to do?
Come back and tell them yourself. What? That's the least you could do for me. Come here and tell everyone we're no longer getting married because you cheated on me with one of my maids.
I can't do that. I don't want to demean my one true love in front of our guests.
So you'd prefer me to be the one who demeans her?
She did nothing wrong. Why'd you drag her into this? Please, let's just part peacefully.
Perhaps that would have been possible had you asked to break up before the wedding, but it's too late now. Are you ready to lose all your connections in the span of about 10 minutes? Your boss, your coworkers, your friends, and family members, all of them will denounce the man who left his pregnant fiancée at the altar.
What are you talking about?
Are you planning on lying about being pregnant just to gain their sympathy?
Please don't do anything you'll regret in the future.
Why'd I need to lie? I was going to tell you after the ceremony. It was supposed to be my surprise wedding gift for you.
How long have you known about this?
I found out last week.
I don't know what to say. Are you sure the baby's mine?
Could you have come up with a worse response? Of course the baby's yours. If it's still here after what you've put me through today, you're welcome to take a DNA test.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ask that. I wasn't thinking straight. I just can't believe this is happening to me.
To you, and only you? How do you think I feel? Today was supposed to mark the beginning of our big happy family, but you've ruined everything, all of it.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Would you like me to come back? It's still not too late, right? I can make up an excuse and we can go on with the ceremony.
Were you always this shameless? What about your one true love? Aren't you worried about her?
Of course I am, but that doesn't mean I'm going to run from my responsibilities.
Does she know?
What?
That you've been two-timing me. Was she aware of that this whole time, or did you lie to her and told her we were on a break or preparing to separate?
She knew we were still together. I didn't want to lie to her.
Yet you had no problem lying to me.
Do you want me to keep apologizing endlessly? Let's just be adults about this and decide what we're going to do.
I've already told you what I want from you. Confess your wrongdoings in front of our guests, and I'll consider letting you see the child every once in a while.
All right, I'll do it as long as I get to keep Abigail's identity secret. I don't want her to suffer as a result of my reckless actions. Could you do me that one favor? For old time's sake.
Sure. I'll let you keep in touch with our child and keep Abigail's identity hidden as long as you do everything exactly I tell you to. How long will it take you to get here?
Okay, I'll do as you say. I'm about 25 minutes away. I'll come alone.
Perfect. Are you still wearing the clothes we picked out?
What does that have to do with anything?
You said you'd do everything I told you to. I spent so much of my time and resources on this ceremony. The least you can do is play your part.
I'm confused.
We'll make an announcement about the breakup after the ceremony's over. It's just one performance. Do it for the sake of our child or your lover's reputation, whichever works for you.
Are you sure you aren't planning on having your guards detain me as soon as I enter?
In front of 100 guests? Don't be ridiculous, I'm not that petty. All you have to do is come here and do as I say.
And you promise this will be the end of it?
I promise, I'll honor my word.
All right. I'm ready to give up on my wealth and reputation to be with my beloved.
Whatever you say. Lincoln, is everything under control out there?
I think so. People are really enjoying the music, but some guests are getting impatient. Did you find out where Christopher was?
He ran off with one of our maids.
What?
Listen, we don't have much time. I'll explain things in more detail later. Right now, I need you to get some items for me.
Okay, sure. What do you need?
Some theater props. Here, I've made a list.
What do you need these for? I don't understand.
We're altering the script, but we only have about 25 minutes. We have to do it before my Romeo gets here.
Are you sure you want to go through with this? Some of these items are a little questionable. Where does one even buy a fake pregnant belly?
Lincoln, please, just trust me on this. If you can't find the fake pregnancy bump, I'll use a round pillow or two. The effect should be similar enough.
All right, I'll do whatever the leading lady wants.
You're the best brother in the whole wide world.
I know.
Okay, you go get the items and find an additional actress. Do you reckon Emma could help us out?
I'm sure she wouldn't mind. We've done crazier things.
Fantastic. Now I just have to redo my hair and makeup. I look like a mess. Oh, and I need to have a chat with some of the guests. We'll have to hurry, but I'm sure we'll manage to get everything done in time.
I'm already on my way.
The ceremony started 2 hours late. The music, the costumes, the food, and the decor was all perfect. Everything was going according to the script up until the actual wedding scene. A quick costume change revealed the now pregnant Juliet ready to marry her true love as their families rejoiced. Out of the blue, a woman dressed as a maid frantically cut through the crowd and embraced Romeo, who, after sneaking a glance at Juliet, reluctantly held on to her. The music turned somber as the narrator explained that without the thrill of the forbidden romance, the couple's infatuation with one another had faded. Bored and still very much irresponsible, Romeo had sought comfort in the arms of another. The groom leaves with the maid by his side. Distressed, Juliet grabs a conveniently placed dagger and plunges it into her heart. But something's not quite right. Her brother runs onto the stage as the stupefied audience watches on and starts screaming for help, dialing 911 on his phone. Terrified, Romeo and the maid rush to her aid, and then applause. Some of the guests in the audience start clapping loudly as the rest join in hesitantly. Juliet gets up, takes the hands of her brother and the maid, and bows. Thank you, thank you. They thank the audience as the curtain falls. Perhaps I did go a bit overboard with the dramatics, but didn't he deserve it? He wanted to make a big show out of our breakup, and I gave him just that. I've always known my brother was a great actor, but I didn't expect his girlfriend to play the role of the maid so well. She had tears in her eyes and everything. As promised, I will not take visitation rights away from Christopher. As for Abigail's identity, well, after his shaky confession at the wedding, I'm sure people won't have much trouble putting 2 and 2 together if they ever decide to so much as dine together in public. I'm sure he'll manage to get back on his feet someday, but he'll definitely have to bid farewell to his career in politics. Anyway, I won't make the same mistake twice. I'll play it safe and choose a less tragic theme of my next wedding.